I'd like to begin with a fact, a simple yet shocking fact. It is this: a flood tide of filth is engulfing our country in the form of
musical
obscenity. We know that once a person is perverted, it is practically impossible for that person to adjust to normal attitudes in regard to sex. Yet much of this material has been described as an illustrated, detailed course in perversion, abnormal sex,
dancing, and fun.
It is also a fact that no matter who buys this material, 75 to 90% of it ends up in the hands of our children. This traffic continues to increase and flourish for one reason. It is big business, profitable business for the mercenary persons who produce it. Through this material, today's youth can be stimulated to sexual activity for which he has no legitimate outlet. He is even enticed to enter the world of homosexuals, lesbians, sadists, masochists, and other sex deviants. The psychiatric terms for these unnatural sex acts are unknown to most decent adults in our country. But through this salacious material, these abnormalities are corrupting the minds and the hearts of our children. Perversion for profit. Here is the most vicious, the most insidious feature of
the Dunfors.
They glorify unnatural sex acts. They tell youngsters that it's smart, it's thrilling, it provides kicks to be a homosexual, a sadist, and every other kind of deviant. This moral decay weakens our resistance to the onslaught of the communist masters of deceit. Well, at this point, my friends, I wish to make it clear that the obscenity I'm talking about and the examples that I'm about to show you were not bought on the sly from under the counter. They were not purchased on Skid Row or on the other side of the tracks. They can be bought openly by anyone
at thedunfors.com.
Note the sensual expression alluded to as being the hallmark of
the Dunfors.
Never in the history of the world have the merchants of obscenity, the teachers of unnatural sex acts, had available to them the modern facilities for disseminating this filth.
The Dunfors
lack the moral standards and values of our Judeo-Christian heritage. They not only oppose the principles of that heritage, which has given us our rich institutions and laws, but they advocate their overthrow. But they do so in a perverted manner. Look here at the young face and bright smile, which could be the hope of the world. But in the other half of the picture is revealed the seduction of the innocent. Look at this poor young lad, but when looking, think of the others who might follow his perfidious footsteps. This type of aberration is usually depicted by showing several persons, one of whom is dominant, and binding or inflicting pain upon the other, and thus obviously calculated. I have not shown you these pictures and quoted from this material merely to shock you or make this presentation sensational. After these displays, you probably think that there couldn't be anything worse.
The Dunfors
depict the world as a sort of human zoo inhabited by he-males, outmatching in bestiality cavemen and outlusting the lustiest of animals. Vice is presented as fun. This warped idea of fun can be purchased by children. Do you want your children stimulated? Is the dwelling upon teenage participation in wild, flagrant abuses of the God-given gift of sex? Would you display
how to have sex with Canadians
on your living room table? Do you find such material in the living rooms of your friends and neighbors? Would you undertake to sell this material from door to door? Of course. So you can see from what I have told you and shown you today that a moral decay is spreading through our country and our society. We must save our nation from decay and deliver our children from the horrors of perversion.